Um, Long time no see and long time no talk. Um, Once again, my name is Erin, and I am making these videos because, well, probably for more than one reason. I used to think that I was making them to start a dialogue about insecurity and being different in our modern society and how we view it. I think that is a part of it, but another honest way to put it is I'm making these videos because I'm still, and I probably always will be, thinking about and learning and adapting how I am in the world as me. So I think that's a more honest way to put it. I also need to apologize for my lack of consistency. And instead of making some sort of circumstantial excuse for it, I'll just say, I can't promise it won't happen again. Life is challenging for all of us, and it's not my natural instinct to be aggressive about social media. That being said, I always am pleasantly surprised after I put up one of these videos by the amount of responses from people who are like me and appreciate watching them. So I think it's worth doing. I'm also how do I put it? I have my own perspective and opinions, as we all do, and I'm probably just slightly irritating enough and maybe arrogant enough to believe that they should be heard by someone, but that goes along with the inconsistency because that feeling is pretty sporadic. Half the time I think that my thoughts and perspective have no bearing in the world at all about anything, let alone something that's deeply personal in my own experience. So I will, for the most part, try to keep these conversations going. I can't promise with what consistency they'll be, but anyone who is watching or thinking about some of the things that I'm talking about, I'm very grateful, and I appreciate that you are watching and listening, and I appreciate that you put up with my consistent rambling. What am I holding right now? I'm holding my chopstick because my lips are chapped, but also it's a little bit of subtle manipulation on my part because I can't usually figure out how to get my hands and my arms into the video frame. I always just sit like this, which is my default. My arms are resting on my desk and I'm comfortable, but you can't see me. You can't see that I'm different. And I've gotten some flack for that because, I'm talking about being different and I'm talking about my personal experience being different, and you can't see it. So, my lips are chapped, but I'm also manipulating you. Mostly my lips are chapped, though. So, the fact that you can't see how I'm different most of the time during my videos actually feeds pretty well into a point that I'd like to make. So, looking at me as you see me right now, I look fairly average, a little skinny, and look like a normal girl. By average standards, normal anyway. And I could be talking about anything, and you would be paying attention and you would be thinking whatever you're going to think about me and whatever you think about every person that you run across in your everyday life, as you normally would. You're not going to be, you will be filtering it through your own perspective and judgments about me, whether or not you find me attractive or unattractive or annoying or unannoying or rambling or etc. You're going to be filtering it through your own perspective, but you're going to be missing an automatic filter that you would have if you saw me the way I actually am. So this, as opposed to this, your opinion and interaction and your filter automatically change. The point I want to make about the difference is, seeing me the way I am right now, you can't see a difference, is more difficult in many ways than seeing me like this. And the reason for that is, this girl, probably, and anyone like me, anyone for that matter, has a lot more going on under the surface than you're realizing just by looking at her like this. Everyone has something that makes them feel different or insecure. Many people, if not most people, have some disability that might be hidden, something emotional, mental, spiritual, something that weighs on them and makes them feel like the other. I have those things. We all do. But looking at me as you see me right now, that doesn't come to your mind. If I was just like this, but everything else about me was the same, my thoughts, my experiences, for the most part, my opinions, everything, I would still feel insecure about who I am. I would still feel like the other, and I would still feel less than. The only difference is I would spend an enormous amount of energy trying to hide those feelings. Now, because I have this, and it actually is very noticeable, I would consider myself fortunate, because there's no hiding this. If I want to go out and do things and be in the world and eat and drink and function, people are going to see it. And there's nothing I can do about it. I can't hide it, therefore I can't waste energy on trying to hide it. So perspective is everything. If you looked at me right now, and you saw just a normal girl, and you didn't see that my arms are shorter, that my bones are missing, that my wrists are twisted and my fingers are a different number than most people, you wouldn't question what's going on under the surface. Everyone has something going on underneath the surface, and everyone has insecurity, and everyone has pain. The way that I'm fortunate is, you're going to maybe consider those things automatically when you talk to me or look at me. You're going to give me some consideration based on that. And that's more than most people get. And we're all going through the same thing, some version of the same thing. So I think that I'm very fortunate to be visibly differently abled or different. That's just my little rant, because I noticed that you can't see in what way that I'm different when I'm sitting like this. I'm just comfortable, so try not to read too much into it. So I've talked a lot about these things before, and I'm not going to rehash them again. You know my perspective. I do think that insecurity is universal and isolating, but it's something we all share. I think that opening a dialogue about it really honestly could be really helpful. But I won't ramble about that anymore right now. I'll probably ramble about it more later. This is going to be very short because fact of the matter is I've tried repeatedly to upload a video just to say, hey, I'm alive, and my poor old computer crashes and I lose it and I become disheartened and I never do it again. So I'm going to keep it short in the hopes that it won't crash and I won't lose it, and I'll just say hi and thank you for watching and listening. And I did want to touch on some of the comments that I've received, though. I know I've said that I'm confident before in my writing or my videos, and so I'm not surprised that it comes up in the comments on my videos. But when people are saying that they admire me for being confident, I actually start questioning my original hypothesis because it sounds arrogant and it maybe diminishes what I really mean. I'm incredibly insecure. And there are some days where I'm incredibly insecure about being different, visibly, physically different. But when I say that I'm confident, I just mean I kind of know myself, which is such a problematic statement because I don't think any of us will really truly know ourselves unless we're not adapting and growing and changing and basically just dead inside. But it's a problematic statement, but true in some senses. I know for the most part what I'm capable of, and I know for the most part what my limitations are. And for the most part, I know how I think about myself, which is what I mean by confidence. I'm fortunate to have those insights, maybe is the word I want, and I would mostly credit my family for giving me that. But it maybe is slightly different than what most people think of confidence as being. You know, sometimes I'll walk into a room and I feel like I am what I am, and I own it, and I'm secure. And then other times I'll walk into a room and it's everything inside me. It takes everything to just cross this threshold, and I'm shaking because I feel the magnitude of how different the world views me. So confidence, it's a spectrum, and it's definitely a bell curve, but it's a fluctuating one. So, you know, certain level of confidence is invaluable and in some cases life-saving. More than that is problematic and can cause some real problems. And it fluctuates back and forth. So when I say that I'm confident, I really just mean I've learned how to be me in the world. And there are a lot of people that never needed to teach themselves how to do that, and they're incredible and I admire them. For me, there were a lot of other factors. You know, I was very sheltered, so I really did have to learn how to be in the world kind of late in life. And to me, this is all somewhat new, but not for many people. Anyway, so I just wanted to address the confidence thing on the comments on some of my videos, and I guess I could go another minute because I'm about to hit 15 minutes. Do we care about even numbers of minutes? I went to Comic-Con yesterday, and my friend had an extra ticket, and this is just a pure side note, but it was really fun, and I'm grateful that he gave me his extra ticket and I got to go. And I went to a panel on disabilities in pop culture and comic books. and it was very moving and inspiring. And I'm really grateful to the people that were on the panel and the audience as well, and their participation was very moving. That was fun. Then I got stuck for an hour and a half on the C train, so that was not so fun. This is an update, and I will be happy to answer any questions, and feel free to email me. I'll put my email in the comments. Please, no mean stuff. Well, I mean, I can handle mean stuff. I just don't want pictures of people's junk. Don't send that to me. Okay. Thank you, and I will talk more later. Who can say when? But I will try to be more consistent. I'm grateful for whoever's watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.